Hey folks, Real Patriot here. You know, as always, this video is going to be talking about a thing that some Republicans have a problem with for some reason. The separation between church and state. Before we get into the video, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and subscribe to this video. If you like the content, then go ahead and leave a like. If you don't like what I'm saying, tell me down in the comments. Comments may actually get this video to other people, and we can grow, and we can actually probably have a genuine conversation about the separation between church and state. Now, people don't actually know what separation between church and state is. It is where the church and the state are completely separate. They don't interact. They don't control each other. Separate. We wanted that. That's what our founding fathers wanted. Thomas Jefferson actually says that it refers to the First Amendment as creating a wall of separation. That was what Thomas Jefferson said in a letter. And people will be like, oh, it's in a letter, it doesn't matter. I'm like, yeah, actually it does. It matters a lot because it's one of the founding fathers. It's what they actually thought of separation between state and church. I mean, it established in the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. It refers to it, not directly, but in a way it does. The thing I said about Thomas Jefferson saying wall separation, that was, I'm looking at my paper right now. The site is the lawcornell.edu. That is the Cornell Law School. They even have it. Founding fathers did want the church and state separate because the state shouldn't control the church, and the church should not control the state. Church should not control government. We've seen, the world has seen what happens when that happens. During that time, the church in England, they were the one who had the control. The Crusades. Crusades is an exact reason why the separation between church and state is very important to the U.S. It keeps you from having people who making laws that make no sense whatsoever. Not much different than we have right now, but still, it would be more radical laws. And what happens when you don't keep separation between church and state? Look at the Middle East. Sharia law. That's what they have, because they let their religion dictate their government. We should not be wanting that. Anybody who wants that, they're not being an American. Our founding fathers wanted a separation between churches and government. And any church who tries to overstep that should be taxed. That was actually part of the agreement why they weren't getting taxed. Because they wanted to be separate. They don't want to be separate no more? Tax them. Tax the daylights out of them. These churches bring in I can't say it. The televangelists bring in 20. No, that's not even a year. Bring in quite a lot of money. Probably close to $200 million a year. They don't get taxed on that. They use that money for charity, which they don't actually do that for. They actually use it to fund their private jets, their housing, which some of their houses, I'm like, good Lord, that's a big house. How many homeless do you have in that house? The answer is always zero. They don't house homeless in their houses. They have massive 30, 40 room housing for a family of 5. What you need 40, 50 rooms for? You have 5 people, 5 kids. No, 5 people. 2 adults, 3 kids. Who you housing? Your kids don't need 10 different rooms to play in. I mean, it's one thing if they take that and they expand it and make a library out of it. That's one thing. And then they're not having 40, 50 rooms. They'll still have about 20 rooms. 20, 30 rooms. Still way more rooms than you need. Just because you and your wife don't sleep together no more doesn't mean other people, doesn't mean there's no other people suffering. I mean, the Republican Party tries to claim they are the party of Christianity. For the radicalists, yes. But for the teachings of Jesus, no. Not one bit. Jesus teaches accepting others. The Republican Party wants you to hate others who are different than you. And the nationalism party, Christian nationalism, that is the danger to both the country and churches. It is very dangerous. And it's that type of thinking is why atheism is on the rise in the United States. It's because of radicalists taking control and pushing religious agendas on people. I mean, like, you don't want people pushing agendas on you, but yet you're going to push your agenda on other people? It don't work that way. We need to make sure separation between state and church stays. It's very important to the country. It's our founding fathers' wishes, and we should honor that wish. I mean, our founding fathers knew the Constitution was going to change. That's hands down. That's something was going to happen. They knew it. Look at Prohibition. It was added. It was taken away. Counting an African American as 3/8 of a person. That was taken away because they count as a full person. Every person counts. Every vote counts. Every religion is important to this country, as our founding fathers. I mean, they were vast majority Christians. I think Benjamin Franklin may have actually been an early atheist, but I'm not sure. But they didn't let religion control what they made. They didn't. I mean, they're like, oh, if you want to go to church, you can go to church. We're not going to stop you. We can't say you can't go to church. We're not saying you have to go to church. It's part of freedom of religion. But if churches want to get involved and be political and make political statements, well, fine. You can get taxed. Political donations should not be tax deductible. Yeah, I'm going off on something else, talking about taxes now, but churches need to be taxed. If they want to be political, tax them. You know, if they're doing what some companies have done, they give to both parties. They give to all the parties. Okay, that's actually being non-political. You're giving money to political people, but you're doing it evenly across the board. This makes sense. Because you don't want to be political, but you don't want to alienate any people who attend your church. So you give to everybody equally. And then you don't say crap about it because you don't need to. I'm Christian. I'm actually Catholic. And I like that the church I attend says praise for our leaders. Never says a name. They say we are non-political. They literally said, because someone tried to talk to the father about political stuff, he cut it right there. He said, nope, we ain't doing that. That ain't for here. He even brought it up. Saying that the church is a non-political entity and wants to remain that way because they don't want to alienate people. They want to be a place of welcoming. True, the Catholic Church has had its problems in the past. Still probably has some of the problems today. They're working on it. They're getting rid of those people. And they're looking ways to prevent it in the future. That's what they're doing. No church is perfect. No government is perfect. And mixing them together is not the answer. It will actually make things worse. Because once you put a religion above all the others and have them involved in politics, well, you've got the other religions. In our country, in the First Amendment, it's really bad to go against that. There's a reason why it's the First Amendment. It was put first above all others. A freedom to say what you want to say, within reason, because you can't yell certain things in a movie theater, or you're going to get arrested for causing a panic. A freedom of press, which is desperate, is something we need here in the U.S., but they need to be fact-checked. And some out there, I know of at least 3, one's going away though, because they can't, they're begging for viewers from all sides to come and watch their channel when they are a one-sided channel, and people aren't gonna go watch them. They're like, nope, ain't happening. The other one is owned by another news company. And the other one, they just keep making bold-faced lies, and they've been sued over it. Actually, all 3 of those channels have been sued. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's conservative media getting sued for lying. Yeah, so separation between state and church needs to remain forever. Thomas Jefferson put in letters saying, it was a Baptist church in Virginia, actually, his home state. A church was trying to control a city. And he said, nope, that violates the First Amendment. Yeah, because religion isn't supposed to control government. And government isn't supposed to control religion. Note the reason why there's such radical churches out there. Because we don't want to get involved in their things, because we don't want them getting involved into the government. The government doesn't want to get involved in them, and most churches don't want to get involved in government. They want to be a place of accepting of all people, not just some people. So, that's what I have to say on this matter. If you agree, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, also let me know down in the comments. So stay real. Stay patriotic to whatever country you're from. I'm in the United States, of course. You can tell by the flags and everything else around me. You have a good day.